What's up, people? In this video, we are going to talk about how to stay motivated to be in shape, right? How to get motivated to work out and be in shape, and how to stay motivated, and how to experience peak states of motivation so that working out will just be completely effortless for you, and you'll just be like totally, fit all the time and not have to put any effort into being fit. Okay, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna talk about that right now. Subscribe to my channel. Check out legendarysuitjamas.com. They make silk pajamas that look like suits. I'm not wearing one. Probably won't wear them anymore because I'm just kind of over it. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, how to stay motivated for working out. All right, now here's the deal. I was listening to this, I bought a course, right? Like a personal development course that I think is by somebody who I have a lot of respect for. And they were talking about something similar, right? It was a question, he was doing a Q&A section. There was a recorded video for this course, and somebody asked the question, how do I stay motivated to blah, 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 right? And like you could see the anger in his face when he read the question, and he said something very, very interesting, right? And he gave an analogy for sports. Okay, what he said was, in sports, they say that you can't coach desire. Okay, now I'd never heard this before, but I think it's very, very interesting concept. Okay, you can't coach desire. And if you think about that, coaching is a very valuable tool. You get to learn certain techniques and certain strategies to accomplish whatever it is that you want. However, if you think about it, coaching is very, the information out there about doing whatever it is you want to do is very cheap and it's very accessible, right? You can go with extremely limited technical knowledge, about anything. You can go on YouTube and type in how to blah, 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 and you can pretty much find a video on how to do it. How to fix your washing machine, how to, make money on fucking Amazon, how to sell, how to sell cars, like whatever it is, you can find it, okay? The coaching is not the hard part, right? And I would even say that the desire is far more important, like the desire to actually do it is far more important than the techniques on how to do it, okay? Now, I thought this was interesting because as soon as I heard this, I thought of when I used to work in shopping malls, okay? I've said this before, used to work in malls, kiosk sales, commission-only job, and I was working with a lot of Israelis, many of whom did not speak any English. I'm talking like, hello, how are you, thank you, and that's it, right? However, and me as an American and native English speaker, I thought that I would go there and completely blow these guys out of the water because I had perfect English and would be able to kind of finesse my way into making sales and making lots of money because I could clearly express whatever I wanted to express in the same language as the people I was trying to sell to. I thought it was going to be easy for me, okay? Now, what actually ended up happening is that when I first started doing this job, I got absolutely fucking smoked by these Israeli guys who barely spoke English. And I couldn't really figure out why for a very long time, okay? But looking back, what I realized now is that, you guys probably don't know this, but in Israel, it's pretty hard to make money. And in America, it's not hard, okay? In America, in these jobs, you probably don't think kiosk sales is like a very well-paying job, but you can make, $4,000 or $5,000 a month just from sales, which in Israel, that's like 15,000, 20,000 shekels, which is a lot of money, okay? And if you're really good at kiosk sales, you can make way more than that. You can make 3-4 times that much, okay? And you have your own, you make a ton of money, okay? So the reason that I got smoked by these guys, it wasn't a competition. It's not like we were competing. I mean, obviously there was like a little bit of a competitive aspect to it because you're working with other people, you're naturally going to compare yourself to them, and it's just a competitive job, like who's doing better. But these guys just wanted it way worse than I did. To them, this was their kind of opportunity to make money and save money and use it to pay for school or to buy nice clothes. and they probably had never had an opportunity like that in the past, and it was questionable as to whether or not they would have one in the future. Whereas for me, as an American citizen and native English speaker, if this kiosk sales job didn't go well, or I didn't make as much money as I wanted to, was that really the end of the world? No, of course not. Plenty of opportunities for me out there, right? So that's basically what I'm trying to say. And I would even say that it wasn't until, and again, I'll bring it back to fitness in a second, but this other example just popped into my head. It wasn't until I moved to Australia and I had kind of my own kiosk, this was back in 2017, that I really kind of understood this, because I experienced the same thing. When you work as a salesperson, you only make, I would say 25, 30, sometimes 35% of the sale is commission, okay? But when you have your own kiosk, you make pretty much, well, you essentially get 100% of the commission minus your expenses. So what that comes down to, I mean, it depends, but I was making about 3 to 4 times what I was making as a salesperson, because I had a couple people working for me also. So I saw that as kind of this incredible opportunity to make a lot of money, and my eyes just opened much wider, and I almost want to say I became very greedy with the amount of money that I wanted to make. And greed, you could argue, is a form of desire. Okay, so now let's bring it back to fitness. What does this have to do with you? Well, unfortunately, there's no solution for this in terms of fitness unless you are experiencing an extreme lack in your life that fitness is going to fill for you. Okay, so in other words, what do I mean by this? Let's say your life is just so awful, it's so bad, and you're so miserable all the time that the only time you experience joy is by going to the gym or working out or whatever and getting that kind of endorphin rush, right? By contrast, your shitty life is going to be much better after a workout or during a workout, right? Another example is, let's say you rely on the gym or your chosen fitness activity for your social interaction with other people. Well, it's the same thing. You're so bored, you're so lonely, you hate your life so much that the only time you're going to experience any sort of pleasure is when you go to the gym, okay? And naturally, by going to the gym and, exercising, being fit is kind of just going to be a side effect of what you really want to do, which is socialize. Okay, now let's think more practically, okay? Because and again, I guess if I think about it, I could say you could make the argument that most people are pretty lonely, at least in the United States, and would probably do very well to benefit from forming an additional community of friends and acquaintances by going to the gym, okay? Or joining CrossFit box, or taking up some sort of sport, even as an adult. That's a very valuable thing to do. I think even into your 30s, 40s, 50s, 70s, whatever. Okay, but let's think more practically. Okay, if you can't coach desire, then how do you I don't want to say how do you fake it, but how do you spark that flame of desire, right? It sounds kind of corny, but how would you do that? And what you really have to do is you just have to find something that you enjoy about the activity so much that you don't really have in the rest of your life. Now, again, using the, let's say, social interaction as an example, is it really healthy to have to rely on going to the gym to satisfy your need for social interaction with other people? No, that's not. Like, in a perfect world, you would be totally capable of making friends and, approaching whoever you wanted and just being a friendly social person at any time, at the coffee shop, I'm distracted by this guy. At the coffee shop, at the mall, whatever. Talk about whatever you want with whoever you want at any time. Should you have to rely on going to the gym to do those things? No. But, it is what it is, right? Are you going to the coffee shop and talking to random people? Probably not. Okay? So, that's one way to do it. The other way to do it, I've talked about this in another video, is to just get skin in the game. Okay, one thing that I liked to do when I lived in America is I would join Equinox, okay? And Equinox, $250 a month, and you better believe that on my previous Uber driving salary, if I'm paying $250 a month for anything, you better believe that I am going to take advantage of that, okay? There is absolutely no way that I would not. So by having that skin in the game and paying that money to go to the gym, I'm so invested in actually going there and doing that I'm going to want to get my money's worth, okay? And I mean, I only talk about money because it's a very, money is kind of easily quantifiable, right? $250 is $250, right? Whereas, objects themselves may have more or less value to certain people based on the context. Anyway, don't need to get all involved with it, but tell me what motivates or what determines your level of desire to go to the gym, okay? Do you have something that kind of really motivates you to get fit? And if so, what is it? Leave me a comment. And if you do not have any desire, why don't you take an honest look at that? And I'm actually curious why. Like, if you have not started working out yet, tell me why. Tell me why you lack the desire, okay? And if you have not started working out, then you do lack the desire. Don't say like, well, I do. I really do have the desire, but I'm just not doing it. Like, take an honest look and tell me why, okay? So that is my little spiel about you can't coach desire. Subscribe to my channel. Check out legendarysuitgems.com. Peace.